So, Mum, I know you're really psyched for this question because you love talking about this. But I think that lots of people would like to know how you're doing, how your health is, how the past, it's pretty much exactly a year. This is your sort of anniversary pretty much since your accident. And we're going to drag out of you how you do.
Thanks. For people who don't know, just to say, I had a skiing accident and I broke my shoulder and I had 2 operations. And I also got Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which is a type of facial palsy where my face froze. And that was almost exactly a year ago. So I've thought about it a bit, and I think the context really matters, which is that I know that I don't have a life-threatening illness. I really do know that and feel grateful for that. I know that I'm lucky that I have choices in kind of medical treatment and that I don't feel any of it is unfair. Like, I've had so much luck. So I really feel that. And then there are lots of things that I really don't like and find difficult. I think I hate being tearful on this podcast, by the way. I really fucking hate it. I think that being a twin, I don't like doing anything alone. And this, although you're totally with me, you've all been amazing, and Dad has been amazing, and my friends have been amazing. But ultimately, it's alone. And I'd like to have a twin
you mean your health? I thought you meant talking about it.
No.
Yes,
I think in my health, I'd like to have someone beside me who I could say, listen, you do the physio this morning, I'll do lunchtime. And then if you do the evening, and then we'll swap tomorrow.
Yes. So share the load.
Share the load. I hate doing all that stuff on my own.
All on you.
And also to have someone to sort of share, like, gosh, like it really hurts. Like, and the other person to really know what it means.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh, I'm so sorry it hurts, something.
Yeah. The factual update is that I hated my face most the first, that I hated the disfigurement. And I said all along, I don't care about my shoulder as long as I get my face back. And I have still got a bit of a wonky face. It's still a bit frozen, but it's a million times better. And if someone could have told me that at the beginning, I'd have been really grateful. So I feel enormously grateful for my face. Although it still feels frozen, I still feel weird talking. It feels odd. And I think, I don't know, I think that is probably its limit. I don't think it's going to get better. I don't know. So I think I'm stuck with it as it is, but I feel very grateful for that. But I don't like that I have a squishy looking eye and a bit of a wonky face. And that when I watch these recordings, I see that half my mouth doesn't move. But I don't dribble anymore. My eye blinks, I can chew properly. I breathe properly. All of that is a million times better. So I feel very grateful about that.
Yeah. Yes, the sort of dignity of it.
Yes. And not people not turning away when I walk down the street or on the train or whatever.
Sounds like your face is something at the moment that you can accommodate. It's okay. It's not like what you'd love, but it's not so far outside of what you can tolerate that you could ever in any kind of wrestle with it.
I think that's right. But also I think I had a kind of, because I'd never been ill and I was so blissfully ignorant, I had a kind of arrogance that my belief was, you get ill, you get better. Broke my shoulder, it'll mend. My face is like this. From the very beginning, I was told that there was a good chance it wouldn't get better. So, but I couldn't quite believe it. And I sort of had the sort of arrogance that I'm so healthy.
I look after myself so well.
I look after myself. I'll do all the physio.
Yes.
I'll do what they tell me. So, I'll match their best outcomes. And that
I'll be the percent.
I'll be the percent. And it's a pure arrogance from ignorance. But
also hope, no? Like a little bit of hope?
And I needed hope. but it's been a slow kind of painful dawning that, you know, I am not like you have these terrible accidents and people are kind of life-changing, but I am irrevocably changed and it's not for the better. And, you know, I'm going to live with pain in my shoulder probably forever. And even if so now my shoulder, I can't lift it. And if by the end, I do physio 3 times a day, and if by the end of March I still can't lift it, they've offered me a reverse shoulder replacement, which is another big operation, which is another year of physio. And even with a reverse shoulder, you can't lift your arm up to your ear. I'll never get my arm above my shoulder. I'll never play tennis. You know, that's not exactly the end of the world, but
no, but it's like my body is never going to be able to do what it used to do just so easily without thinking about it.
No.
And pain
is painful.
And managing pain takes up energy. It can become, I think you've managed it for so long now, Mum, that you've got maybe a bit used to managing it. But I think it's harder to be so free in your body or energetically relaxed when one part of you is trying to handle a piece of you that's in pain. There's a tension around being in constant pain. It's a psychological task, energetically a task, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of on a very low level, it drives me nuts, like putting a coat on or doing my Peloton and not being able to lift my arm or not being able to reach for a glass of water. I can't zip my dress. I can't do my jewelry. I can't do my hair. There's so many tiny things that I can't do. But also there are so many things I can do, which I am so effing grateful for, that I've got my legs, that I can still run, that I can do other sports, that my brain, I've worked all the way through. I've had all of you. So I don't feel it's a terrible thing, but I fucking hate it. If you can have those two things at the same time.
And you're sad about it, right? You've said it a few times. There's a loss. You had a big part of your identity in being a healthy, well woman you put a lot of effort into that being the case. And you're still healthy and well, but it is a different body. It is a body with
and wonky
limitations.
Yeah, I mean, and I was so slow for it to dawn on me that I wasn't going to get just better. You know, because I've broken bones, plenty. I've broken my leg twice and my ankle. So my experience of broken bones was they take a few months, they're a bit sore, and then you're back. And I didn't know. I mean, the guy that did the first operation that completely missed out 2 bones and damaged my nerve, he's the guy
in the Samuel Baird books.
Yeah, that means that I'll never mend properly. But I've only had little flashes of fury with him. Luckily, he doesn't preoccupy me, because that would be really bad. And I suppose, I mean, if there's a learning, it's humility, right? It's humility that I'm not powerful. I have to surrender to what isn't within my gift to change.
Is it that you're not powerful, or you're not omnipotent?
Well, I never felt omnipotent.
No, but you also mean you are still powerful, but I don't know. Do you not feel powerful?
I feel much weaker.
Yeah. Yes, so maybe that's my wish for you to feel.
Yeah. I mean, I still run and go on this indoor bike, but I'm scared, for instance, to go on an outdoor bike.
Yeah.
Which I loved. I absolutely loved that.
Maybe you need to book a lesson in a car.
Yes, my lovely bike teacher. You can come and cycle around the car park with me. That was in a different episode for people who have no idea what we're talking about. I had a bicycle lesson.
Yeah.
Even though I'm 41.
And my dilemma is, do I have a reverse shoulder where I'm not going to get an arm that lifts, or live with it as it is? I don't know.
No.
I don't have to decide.
But. No, you don't have to decide.
I think it's an interesting thing, that sense of powerful and how much we use our bodies to help or not help with that experience of potency in the world. I am thinking of poor Nabel, who was one of our podcast episodes when she's done weightlifting, and that sense of being physically strong has helped her feel more emotionally strong. there is something that happens for people, isn't it, about how strong am I, and the body becoming a kind of symbol of that, which in some ways can be channeled in a way that can be really helpful. But also it can be tricky in the sense of like, if for whatever reason your body is not able in those ways, for you to then, for example, then have a diminished sense of potency, it's actually only limited to quite a specific thing. I don't mean that in a diminishing way.
No, I get
but
that.
as in lifting your arm. But it sounds like you've had a more profound sense of I'm not powerful in the world. And I know
It's not my confidence in my power.
Yeah, I guess that how we are in our skin and then how we feel about ourselves. There's lots of back and sort of emotional exchange, isn't there, between the story we tell ourselves about who we are and how that is mirrored or not mirrored in our body.
Have you got advice for me?
No.
Yes, I want your advice. I do.
About what?
About anything. About how to think about it, how to cope with it, what to do.
I don't know. Right this second, I don't have more advice than that. I love you very much, and that was sort of very much with you as much as there's bits we can't be with you. Like like you said, there's lots of it you have to do by yourself.
I don't have any advice. I think you're very stoical, Mama. I think that's
You are very stoical, like your mum, actually, in lots of ways.
Your mum. I'm not dying. I've just got a cold, as she said.
When she was dying.
When she was dying, yeah. I think you're a stoic in that maybe I don't think you very often have talked since that accident that often about how, like, you haven't cried that much. Like, you're crying right now on the podcast, but you haven't really cried much around the kitchen table with us. I mean, you probably have with Dad. But that maybe you could, have a few more hugs from us.
Yeah. I think I don't really like talking about it. And also, says the therapist that makes people talk about everything.
Pain is the agent of change. Yeah, carry on.
Yes,
exactly. So I do talk to Dad.
Your stoicism is sort of your defence.
I quite like it. I quite like being stoic.
I think what Sophie's saying is that sometimes it's maybe let the defence down a little bit.
Yeah. No, I think I could. I mean, once I'm dressed and I don't have to do much with my arm, I can put it down. So then I just want to get on and not think about it. Yeah. And so I don't really want it. And I don't really like that kind of attention. I don't really like sympathy. I do like hugs.
You do know, Mama, that you did just what clients do in the room, where they go, can you give me any advice? And then as a therapist, you pause and you go, it's not great to give advice. It's very rarely to give out. Well, I'll try something, like, has something come up? Here's a little bit of advice. And then you're like, no, I don't really want that advice. Not that one. No, thanks.
True. I'll take that. Thanks, Tom.